2 minutes played already right here at the Bari Stadium. The game between the NFF and the team that need a full 3 points today to guide the passage into the Super Four. Already like I said, 3 minutes on the clock in the game between the NFF and our future guarantees. We should be goalless. Alright. Okay, let's get into the team and improve. We're going into the box. Already the very first team are looking very sharp in the first 5 minutes of this game. A really nice rhythm after the defense. This match game, the final day of the IMS was the Nigerian Football League. Starting the mission already between the suicide. I should look forward to what comes out to be a game where our future guarantee already know their fate. The benefit, it's all about a real best. It's now or never. The team in blue.
Welcome me on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni Shafe. What a way to go there. Always good to promote our own sport from Nigeria to the world. Right now we have a lot of stories trending, although we'll be looking at the grassroots football in Nasarawa State. But before then, let's also quickly talk about our under-18 girls. They call them the J Tigress. They actually made us proud yesterday by being able to defeat the undefeatable Egyptian team on the fact that they won that game 66-51 against them. Nigeria ladies making us proud there. J Tigress turned undefeated Egypt, advanced to semi-final, and the advancement right now, they'll be facing Uganda, who actually defeated them when they were in group stage, and they just have to up their game to defeat Uganda. But right now, we are celebrating them for being able to do this. It was the last time we did this was 14 years ago. So our ladies are back to winning ways, and they were able to defeat Egypt. Egypt really fought hard, but it was not enough, as Nigeria under-18 girls really did us proud by winning that game 66-51 to win that encounter. And we celebrate them for what they did over there in South Africa, the University of Pretoria, South Africa, where the games actually is ongoing there. Well, right now, we just have to take a look at the fact that our ladies will be taking on Uganda. And we saw what Uganda did against them when they first met. And right now, they just have to up their game, like I said, and see how they will defeat Uganda if they are to progress to the final of this competition. 14 years ago, J Tigress did it, and now they are in the semi-finals against Egypt. It was a tough one because we know that Egypt, defending champion, they fought hard, but really, they could not hold their own as our ladies came out smoking at the won that game. Congrats to them. Congrats for being able to win that particular encounter there. We really want to see them doing well concerning J Tigress basketball team, the junior category of D Tigress. And we know what they've done. So a lot of D Tigress players are already supporting the ladies to see how they will also carry on at the FIBA under-18 Afro basket taking place in South Africa. Only 2 teams will make it to the World Championship that will be coming up in Switzerland. And we hope that our team, J Tigress, will also make that cut. Now, we move away from there. Let's talk about grassroots football development. And this time around, we are focusing on Nasarawa State. This time around, we'll be looking at 2024 Nasarawa State Governors Cup, where we're having JC Adam join us from Lafayette. JC, good to have you on the show. JC Adam is the Director of Communication, Nasarawa State Football Association, and he'll be joining us live there. Good to have you, JC. Okay, so JC, it's good to have you on the show. While we're actually waiting for you to talk with us, we look at the results of games that were played yesterday. Quickly, let's look at the result before you be talking. Let's have the result there. Kiana local government actually play against Kokona, and the match ended 1-0 in favor of Kokona while Karu played 1-1 against Away local government. Akwanga defeated Obi 2-0 in the 2024 Nasarawa State Governors Cup, the 2 result. So it's time to have you, Jesse. Looking at this result, you were there live, and you can give us what happened. All the teams playing. It seems it's a battle to see who actually wins the heart of the governor of Nasarawa State. Okay, well, Jesse Adam seems to be having issues with the audio there. Well, hopefully we'll get it right, and then we'll continue to run the show. Well, while looking at the result there, Kokona 1-0 against Kiana, Away play 1-1 against Karu, Akwanga 2-0 against Obi. Well, we have matches that will be coming up today. Let's look at those games that will be coming up today in the 2024 Nasarawa State Governors Cup, where matches are played. Now, let's look at the fixtures for today in those. Well, from the way it is right now, Kefi will be playing against Toto. That will be 11 a.m. Kokona versus Lafia. Nasarawa Igon will be playing against Kiana by 4 p.m. Those are the fixtures for today in the Lafia City Stadium, match day 3. Okay, Jesse Adams, good to have you on the show. Let's start with the result first. We actually showed the result before we talk about the fixtures. Jesse, are you there?
Yes, I'm here with you. Good morning, me. Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you. We can hear you. So give us overview. What happened? The games that has been played day 1, day 2 so far at the Governors Cup 2024.
Yeah, so far so good. It has been an exciting experience. You know, the first time over 17 years that we have of this magnitude. It has been a spectacle to behold, if you ask me. Yesterday it was the game between Akwanga and Away local government. So I beg your pardon, Akwanga and Obi local government that took the shine up for that games. Akwanga won that one by 2 goals. One by Karu versus Kiena. Away ended 1-2 apiece. You know, that's been a really interesting tournament, and you know, His Excellency Engineer Abdullahi was at the stadium for the opening ceremony, and you know, the drive behind this tournament is to discover talents that we end up, you know, presenting the state and the country at large. It has been an interesting tournament so far, and thank you very much for having us on the show.
Okay, while we're talking about the matches that have been played, now, what about the players? How do they at least take this after a very long time that the Governors' Cup actually have been played and now it's back to life? The players, I can at least imagine the joy of those players participating, or the teams participating.
Not just the players, the fans too. Let's take Away local government for example. Away is about 120 kilometers away from Lafia, and you could see the number of supporters that came all the way from Away to support their football team, and you could see the players excited, knowing fully that this tournament will help unlock so many potentials, and not just in the falling angle alone. We have so many different angles, networking by the players, you know, making new friends, and of course breaking new grounds. Scouts are in Lafia to scout for players. I think about 2 or 3 have been identified, and you wouldn't take the fact away that the teams are actually prepared. They were prepared for the kickoff, despite the fact that the tournament suffered numerous postponements, but finally it came to life, and the players are some of the biggest winners.
A good one there, at least the joy that the Governors' Cup has brought to fans across the state of Nasarawa is something huge there. And you look at football development, actually, as you said, that scouts in Nasarawa to see how they can get the best talents out of all the players that are participating. Let's look at the officiating of the tournament so far. Yes, the referees are doing a wonderful job trying to be the arbiter of the game. So far, how has it been when it comes to officiating of those the matches?
You know, the Nasarawa State Football Association led Salisu Galadima. You know, it doesn't compromise on standard. And looking at it for a fact is bringing seasoned referees, referees like Daniel Tekun Aklo is the Premier League referee, and I think the lowest ranked referee is NLO1 referees that are officiating. So the standard is high, and the officiating so far has been perfect.
Okay, officiating has been perfect. And let's talk about performance of the players. When it comes to this kind of competition, a lot of talented players will be featured. I'm sure, like you actually opined earlier, that some scouts are in Nasarawa State. When it comes to technicality of these players, how good have they been on the day 2 results?
You see, one of the good things is during the technical meeting, we all agree that if you have played in the Premier League and the NNL, there's no way you feature in this one, because it's meant to be circled around grassroots development. And most of these players that are in this tournament have never played in the Nigerian League before. So it creates room, to expose most of them, and also give them an avenue to showcase their talent. At least, no fear factor, they'll be able to show the world what they can do. And I'm glad it is what is happening here. From Lafia to Akwanga, Kwamba to Kefi, Karo, down to Doma. They are just new players who just need the platform, to showcase their goalkeeping talent.
Okay, while they are showcasing the talent, let's look at the competition so far itself. How many local governments are participating in this competition?
Yes, we have 13 local governments. Yes, the 13 local governments were kitted by the FA, and the balls were branded. Everything is said. All the teams are in Latvia, and trust me, it's never done before in the history of Nasarawa State. Kefi, the defending champion, they are playing this morning against Toto. Is a local derby, and trust me, the stadium's already filled. Despite the fact that, as it is, Nasarawa United are training, but the teams are already on ground waiting for the sound of Nasarawa United's final whistle then to start today's activities.
Okay, let me take you to today's activities there. We're talking about the fixtures of matches that will be played today. We know that 3 matches are also slated for today. Let's have the fixtures there so that at least people will know that it's happening in Nasarawa State. Kefi will be taking on Toto, 11 a.m. Kokona, Lafia, Nasarawa, Egon, Kiana. JC, the games for today seems to it's going to be getting tougher. You look at the teams that are involved. You just want to experience better football. So take us through this quickly.
Okay, the first one is the local derby between Kefi and Toto. Definitely, it's going to be a very exciting one as they see themselves as made. But Kefi, as the defending champion, they have a whole lot to prove, because the last time this tournament was played was about 17 to 18 years ago. So from then till now, a lot of development has happened, and then I think Toto has actually bridged the gap. But till the sound of 90 minutes before we'll be able to decide who's going to take the day. But trust me, Kefi are the favorite to pick the maximum point today. And for the other games, the one for 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. are for Group A. That will be their second game of the tournament. Kokona and Lafia were the teams that won their first games. Kokona defeating Kiena by 1-0, Lafia defeating Nasarawa by 1-0 in the first in their first games. And today's game, definitely between Lafia and Kokona, both teams will fancy their chances, because any team that wins today will have a foot already in the quarterfinals of the tournament. That will make it an exciting game, and the fans can't wait, to see the game. For Nasarawa, very solid performance against Lafia in the last game. They will want to make a statement by defeating Kiana, and Kiana will not come lying on the ground for them to be, match over. But as the case is, it's going to be a very tough one. But we all expect Nasarawa to beat Kiana in this one.
Okay, big one there. We've been looking at Nasarawa State Governors' Cup taking place in Lafia, Nasarawa State. All the 13 local governments are fighting for honors in the competition. It continues today. I'll continue to bring you more grassroots football development across Nigeria, each state or anywhere it's happening. Well, right now, JC, we digress away from your at least NSFA. That's the Governors' Cup taking place in Nasarawa State. Let's quickly talk about the National Youth Game is starting. At least the 2024 edition will be starting today, and we actually heard that the Minister of Sports will be declaring it open today. Now, we look at the first story. National Youth Games 2024 edition will be better, according to Governor Oborevwori, actually concerning this year's edition. According to him, they've heard some, but this time around, they will make sure they get it better by at least do those things they've not been doing before by making it better. So, National Youth Games, let's talk about this JSA. It's starting today for the opening ceremony, and the governor is already talking that, yes, the edition for 2024 will be different from what we've been having when it comes to National Youth Games, where a lot of under-15 athletes are always participating, and for also unearth young, talented Nigerians who are into different sports across Nigeria. JSA, let's have you.
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't say less because Governor Oborevwori is one man that knows what he's talking about. He knows his onions. And if you agree with me, Delta State has been the hub of youth sports over the past couple of years. They've hosted the National Sport Festival and now the Youth Festival. And I think I'll digress a little. This is something Nigeria, I'm talking about the federal government, are supposed to invest heavily on. And look at the performances of our athletes at the last Olympics. You agree with me that it wasn't Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, JSA. Go on. We can hear you.
Okay. It wasn't encouraging. So we need to get these athletes at their cradle, and the youth games offers a perfect platform, for us to discover, nurture, and develop talent. Hopefully, they are going to work on the talent that will be discovered here. Definitely, the next Olympics, if you manage these athletes well, then it's going to be a massive win for Nigeria.
Massive one there for Nigeria. Still talking about the youth games, and we look at another story. Well, Oborevwori roots for more talent discovery, promises athletes. Well, at least right now, this promising good times for the athletes that will be in Nasarawa. That's everything will be fine with them. All the states are already trooping in to the state. They also stay there for this competition. Well, just like you were saying, the governor is already saying for talent discovery, they want to root for more, and also promise athletes good times over there in Asaba for this edition of 2024 National Youth Games. And you want to agree with me that the athletes are battle ready. They are really happy. I've seen a lot of states moving into Asaba. And right now, from the way we are looking at the way things have been done there, improvement in the area of food, improvement concerning where they sleep, hostels and all that, and even the tartan tracks that they use to run for different categories of athletics event, and also different locations in the Delta State where they'll be having different events have been upgraded according to the state governor there. So let's have you concerning development. At least it's getting better that we're having better options and also upgrade in different facilities that they are using for the National Youth Games.
Yeah, of course. In a sporting event, you're as good as the facilities you have, and you wouldn't agree less with me. States that have been doing well at the youth level, but even at the national level, states like Bayelsa, Edo, Lagos, we agree that they have better infrastructure, talking about facilities. And the Sam Sevinkeshi Stadium is one of the best in the country. And I'm not surprised. Many of the athletes that don't have access to facilities like this, we tend to suffer a lot because adaptability wise, they will be lagging behind. But as it is, better facilities produce great athletes.
Okay, facilities are actually getting better when it comes to under 15 National Youth Games. Different states are already in Delta State to compete in different categories of sports involvement, and we'll continue to bring you more news concerning that. That's to do with the National Youth Games starting today. Minister of Sports Development, John Owano, will be declaring open, and all the athletes can't wait to begin to compete against one another at the competition. Well, Delta State retain it. Actually, they are the host, and this time around, they also want to see how they can win it. Although it's always a fierce battle between Delta, Rivers, Lagos, and also Edo State for the winner of the competition. Away from that, we cross over. Let's talk about a sport that is really gaining momentum in Nigeria, and we have a team from Nigeria representing Africa. Yes, you can't take anything from the big soccer team of Kebbi. They call them Kebbi B soccer team gets opponent for 2024 World Winners' Cup. B soccer competition will be coming up in Italy. They call it Algeria, and that's the place where all the teams will be fighting for honors. And we quickly look at the groups before we invite Jesse to talk about it. Now, we look at all the teams. Let's look at Group C and also the full draw that was actually made concerning the competition there. The B soccer team we have in Group C, Nigerian team, Kebbi B Soccer Club, Real Monster of Germany, Copenhagen BS, that's a big soccer team of Denmark, and you have Al Tawun Club of Saudi Arabia. They are all in Group C. Last time that we were there, that's last year, we actually got to quarterfinals, talking about KBB soccer team, and right now they want to see how they will get better by moving to either semi-final or even win the competition. They've been doing so well. They are the #1 rated big soccer team in Africa. Now, let's quickly look at the world category of the draws there. If you look at the draws that was made, you have A, B, and C of all the teams that will be participating in the draw. Although, let's have JC first. Okay, he's here. Naxos in Group A. You have Powerful's big soccer team, BSC Verber, BSC Zealand. Those are the teams in Group A. Group B, you have Riga FC, BSC Ator Music, Rotarin BSC, and Almirat Club. Those are the teams in Group B, while in Group C, we actually read out our own, the Kebbi Fixtures, as they call them, representing Africa. Good one. Hopefully, they will do us proud in this competition. JC, the battle is now where they'll be fighting over there in Alghero in Italy for the competition. Last time, they got to quarterfinals, and this time around, we are hoping that our team will do us proud by surpassing where they got to last time at the World Winners' Cup. JC.
Yeah, I think one thing about the Kebbi B soccer team is their level of consistency. Out of nowhere, a team just sprung up in Kebbi State, and they've managed to rule over not just Nigeria, but Africa. Looking at the fact that they'll be in the same group with Real Monster of Germany, Copenhagen B Soccer Club, and Al Tawun of Saudi Arabia, I think it's a massive one, at least one of its kind, and it's projecting the country positively cut across the world. I expect nothing less than a podium finish in the final, but trust me, we have top teams at this year's edition. But it's a good thing that Kebbi is representing the country, and just as to say, FC Copenhagen and Al Tawun are Premier League sides in their respective country. What is happening to teams in Nigeria? Let us try to inculcate the spirit of managing multiple clubs by a team. Of course, it's a good one, and I wish them the very best of luck.
Wishing them the very best of luck there. But the big one right now is that Nigerian team, Kebbi Big Soccer, they will be in Algeria over there in Italy, where they'll be fighting for honors in the beach soccer competition that will be coming up. And we just hope that they will do us proud. From September 17. They will be in Italy to fight for honors there. Last time was quarterfinals, and now they want to surpass that. And they are really trying their best to see how they will do well. It's really growing better in Nigeria. We have the league, and the league is really doing so well with a lot of goodies to be added. Now, moving away from the big soccer story, we talk about AFCON qualifier. Recently, Nigerian Super Eagles played 2 matches home and away. They played in Uyo against Benin Republic, where they won their game 3-0, and also play over there in Kigali at the Amahoro Stadium against the Amavubi of Rwanda. It was a tough match because Eagles fought hard to see how they would do well. But the goal scored by Ademola Lookman was disallowed. On the lighter note, J.C. Adams, the fans are saying the referee, his name is Maroon. They said he actually be from Ghana. We know the rivalry between Nigeria and Ghana, that we don't like each other when it comes to sports. And he's really even into entertainment. Now, fans are saying Ademola Lookman's disallowed goal, referee must be from Ghana. Do you want to accept this? Because that goal, even though there was no VAR, and the referee said, you know, it's not standing. For you, do you agree that that goal actually was a goal?
Well, of course, it depends on where you're seeing the game from. Well, as a Nigerian, it's a goal, but the referee says no, it's not a legitimate goal. But trust me, I think, honestly speaking, it was just an honest mistake. from the referee and nothing more. We created lots of chances. The Rwandan goalkeeper made 8 clear-cut saves in that game. So there's no way we'll bank on that one mistake from the referee. Even the players were prone to mistakes, making mistakes on the pitch on the set day. So to me personally, there's nothing wrong with the call, just that he did not just agree, talking about the referee, with the goal. Now talking about Ghana and Nigeria, it was so funny, going through the comment from the fans, and trust me, it seems Ghana will even come to Nigeria because the Baba Yara Stadium has been banned. Let's see what is going to happen, if they will get the support of Nigerians or not. But for me, actually, plenty fuss about it.
Okay, now still talking about this game, we're going to dwell on Super Eagles' performance. If you had to, let's start with the one we played in Benin Republic. That game was at least far better. We came out after dragging with them for some minutes before we were able to score those goals. And for you, the match between Nigeria versus Benin Republic, if you had to rate it, if you had to rate that game, let's have your rating between Nigeria and Benin Republic before we talk about the one with Rwanda.
Yeah, it was a top-notch performance from the boys. They did absolutely well, talking about the team that defeated us the last time we met, and then, the mentality heading into the game. Benin Republic were coming with this kind of belief that if they could beat Nigeria in Abidjan, then definitely they will beat Nigeria again in New York. But games changes, and then we didn't just beat them, we beat them handsomely, 3 goals in it, and I think it was a top rating from my side. If you ask me to rate them, it's going to be a 90% rating.
Okay, if it's 90% rating, by the time they traveled to Kigali at the Amahoro Stadium, things went south. It didn't go as planned because Nigeria also at least had that high spirit that we're going to do well, but it didn't happen. What did you see that went wrong with that game against Rwanda when we play at Amahoro Stadium?
First, it was an away game. Then secondly, we are playing against a team that is playing in front of its president. Trust me, the motivation will be different. Rwanda are not just a team that will walk over. I think the last time we went there, we struggled to defeat them by 2-1. I can remember vividly that Oborevwori Martins got a praise against Rwanda, and that one. It's never going to be easy in Kigali. Definitely, it's not going to be easy with the fans, the crowds, and of course, top government functionaries. We expect the players to give in their best, especially playing a country as high as Nigeria in world. But definitely, the players want to put in their best, and of course, they put in their best. Just that you're lucky we didn't win that one.
Okay, we're still on Eagles anyway. Just say you have to hold on concerning that. Now, man on the screen there, Shimi Ajayi. Let's go back to Shemi Ajayi there for the fact that a lot of Nigerian football lovers are already commending him for the fact that he has been quietly achieving well with Eagles, even though you may not see it until you really look inward. Himself really doing so well for Eagles. How do you rate him so far? His improvement has really is actually getting noticed now. Used to be on notice, but now people are saying Shemi Ajayi has been a quiet achiever.
Yeah, Semilore Ajayi is one player that I've really admired from afar. Very resolute, very calm, very gentle, and he complements Ekong Trust. Complements Trust defensively. Trust me, he has been one of the finest players we've had in the last 10 years, and you would take that away from him that he has really, steadied the defensive ship of the Super Eagles.
Now, talking about the Super Eagles again, one player, nominated for Ballon d'Or, Ademola Lookman. It's not a surprise anyway. He's really having a good time with football, both club and country. And from the way it is right now, even though that goal was disallowed, Ademola has shown that in the 2 matches, even at AFCON, that he's really becoming a man. In fact, Osimhen had to confirm that Ademola is really rooting to do well. And as this controversy coming up concerning himself and Brahim Diaz, a lot of Moroccans are pushing Diaz concerning the African Footballer of the Year issue. That battle is already getting to that level where Moroccans are really pushing. And Nigerians just have to really need to also do something about this, because if you look at the way the rating is going on social media, Moroccans are really pushing Brahim Diaz. Our own Ademola Lookman, looking by side, you want to agree with me that Ademola Lookman has really done well to deserve that nomination, and also for CAF African Player Award. He would deserve to actually get to win it, right?
Yes, talking about the African Player of the Year, you won't take the fact away that take the fact away from Ademola Lookman, that he has been on monstrous form since the turn of the year, winning the Europa League, playing a pivotal role, in leading Atlanta to beat the unbeaten Bayer Leverkusen prior to the final. That alone speaks a whole lot. Brahim Diaz, I know, is the general mentality of Northern Africans who try to push their own, but you wouldn't compare Brahim Diaz, despite the fact that he won the UEFA Champions League. You cannot just bring them side by side with Lookman. What are the statistics saying? Goals, contribution-wise, Ademola Lookman is ahead based on
Okay, JC will continue, so at least with us there.
Atlanta Player of the Season. That's massive. And looking at Brahim Diaz, he didn't play any major part in Real Madrid's history-making, season. Vinicius Junior, the trio of Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, and Bellingham were the standout performance for Real Madrid. Diaz is just a bench warmer. Ademola Lookman has been there for Atlanta. Now, going back to their performances with their national team, now that will speak volume, because Ademola Lookman played very, very important role in to the final at the last Nations Cup in Cote d'Ivoire, and also making it into the team of the tournament. Where's Brahim Diaz? I think not Africans are just making noise. Last on this one, the Ghanaians will vote Ademola over Brahim Diaz.
Okay, that was a nice one. Anyway, even though you stylishly throw jibe to the North African side, but still believing that the Ghanaians will still vote for, no matter how the rivalry is, they will vote for Ademola Lookman. And we are hoping that Lookman will get to scoop this. He really deserves it. He has done well for the club side and also for the Eagles. Ademola Lookman has been inspirative form for Atalanta Bergamo since he joined them. And in fact, it won't take long before bigger teams will come and snap him up. In fact, during the transfer window, PSG, Liverpool showed interest, even though it couldn't come to materialize there. Well, we've been talking concerning the Super Eagles. And before we talk about the coaching crew, let's look at the team now. If you notice, Osimhen was on the bench the 2 games before he was brought in. According to the coach said despite all they actually went through, he wanted him to have his own time and didn't want to start him so that he can get his act together. Those substitutions actually worked concerning Osimhen I'm talking about. For him coming on, at least he has some spices, even though if not for the fact that some goals were not scored. He really showed that, yes, he was hungry for action when he was on the bench. I think that was a good move from Eguavon and his technical crew, right?
Yeah, of course. Cerezo did very well by making Osimhen sit on the bench in both games. But left for me, if you would have asked me or seek for my opinion, I would have invited Osimhen due to what happened between the player and Fini the judge. But definitely a player of his caliber shouldn't have gone that far, to actually rant over social media on the technical advisor, or let me say chief coach of the Super Eagles. But that is by the wayside. I think equally, just the way Osimhen is delivering for Napoli, we have Boniface Victor, who is doing very well for Bayer Leverkusen. Of course, Awuni. They all deserve their own bites of the cake. And it showed clearly that these players have what it takes to lead the Super Eagles attack. Coming on, the fear factor was there. Seeing Osimhen warming up, and the opponent will definitely be having goosebumps, because he is a player that is not just a small player. He is the reigning African Player of the Year. So definitely the fear factor is there, and I think the role he played actually was very important, despite the fact that he has not been active in the last couple of months, but he still came up looking very, very sharp.
Still looking very sharp. They're talking about Victor Osimhen. We are looking at the Super Eagles as a team. They are performing into 2 matches that they play. At least it's always good to have someone who really knows, have the knowledge of these particular topics there. Well, J.C. Adams, the communication director of Nasarawa State Football Association, sport journalist, has been with us, and we've been talking concerning all the stories we've actually unveiled on the show, 360 Sport, where we always want to promote Nigerian sport. And now, J.C., before we talk about the technical crew, let's talk about the goalkeeping department. Stanley Nwabali really has been able to hold on to that goalkeeping department. It seems, I can see you smiling. It seems Maduka Okoye really needs to work harder and smarter to get that position away from Nwabali. It's really a big one because Nwabali, since he came, no one has been able to wrestle that #1 goalkeeping department away from his hand. Even though we know that Okoye has also been doing well with Udinese, but it has been a tough one to get that shed out of Nwabali's hand.
Yeah, trust me. I think just like the attacking position of the Super Eagles, we are blessed with multiple goalkeepers that could do the job if you call upon any of them, from Nwabali to Okoye and down to Amas Obasaji and Ojo Olorunleke. They are top goalkeepers who can stand their rating. And just like Okoye, he had this chance, and just like what happened between Osimhen and Finidi, I think Okoye had a similar fate, and which actually made Nigerians to lose that trust and believe in him. You know, he had this journey from the Italian league, I think, down to Watford, and then back to the Italian league. Now he's one of the best goalkeepers in the Italian league. But you know, Nwabali came at the moment where we needed a savior, and he came and put in his best. And since his performance at the AFCON, I think Nigerians don't want to see any other goalkeeper on the goal pole for the Super Eagles, except for injury cases or probably some issues like that. But for now, I think we're all good with Nwabali. Where should continue to be on the study. When the opportunity arises, then let's see if you will be able to grab it. For now, Nigerians, I'm speaking on behalf of Nigerians now, we are good with Nwabali.
We are good with Nwabali. Well, according to J.C. Adams, you are now the media officer of the whole Nigerians. Good one there. Anyway, while we're talking about this, let's look at the technical department of Super Eagles. Yes, the names came out, Labadia off. Then they brought in the technical director to stand as the Super Eagles interim coach of the Super Eagles there. And now, out of 2 matches, 6 points at stake, he was able to get 4 points. And this, the NFF and the Minister of Sport are saying, we are working on getting a substantive coach for Super Eagles. That's the story we're looking at. They are really working to get a substantive coach for Super Eagles. That's the story right now. Well, you look at Oborevwori for what he has done, bringing Ilechukwu and Dale Ogumoredi together, but still the NFF and the sport minister are saying, well, they are working to see how they can get a substantive coach for Super Eagles to take over from this technical crew. Jason.
Yeah, of course. I think it's a very good one to get a technical manager for the Super Eagles. Don't let us be fooled by the result that came for Oborevwori. Oborevwori is currently the technical director of the Nigerian Football Federation, and it's a position that I believe he will not want to relinquish, due to the fact that once he gets the job of the Super Eagles, definitely you have to, leave his position as a technical director. Definitely he doesn't want that. I can tell you this for a fact. Now, talking about the technical manager of the team, we need somebody who has an experience, somebody who understands the nitty-gritty of world football, not just anybody. Just like the last time that the NFF announced Bruno Labbadia, funny enough, as a football follower, that was the very first time that I was hearing about a coach like that. And it's so disheartening that Nigeria, and the Nigerian Football Federation, we have, for our standard to the point that we just go for untested coaches. We should look at as a big nation, a nation that is blessed with arrays of stars, that we need coach with pedigree, coach with great experience and exposure to come and manage us. We have what it takes, to still qualify for the World Cup and go as far as to win the World Cup. But if we get the wrong managers, definitely won't get the right results.
Okay, well, we've been talking about Super Eagles technical crew, and right now NFF are saying they want to get substantive coach. They are working with the Ministry of Sport to get that done, and we're waiting for the news. We just hope that everything will go smoothly. During the announcement of Bruno Labbadia, good. That reminds me, the announcement of Bruno Labbadia came around 5:30. And a lot of Nigerians were wondering why that time, although that doesn't matter. But a lot of things are done, kind of secrecy. They just have to open up. How much does will he be taking? If not for the tax issue that came up, no Nigeria will not know what has been actually transpiring between them, the coaches, or the coach and his crew, and Nigerian Football Federation. It's high time it begins to open up. A lot of countries, they open up whatever is happening concerning the country and the coach they want to employ. So it's high time we also make it open for the Nigerians to know that, yes, this particular coach is how much you are paying him, these are that, and all this making it look like we're hiding something. If not for the tax issue, nobody would know that such is happening until the man came up to talk about it. Now, still talking about the NFF, but this time around, they have been advised. Let's look at this story. Super Eagles continue with Nigerian coaches coming from Oborevwori to NFF. Oborevwori is with CAF, the head of security unit of Community of African Football, is a Nigerian. Right now, he's already saying, well, we saw what happened between Nigeria and Benin Republic, Nigeria and Rwanda. So for him, he believes that we should continue with the Nigerian coach, although it's not saying maybe it's going to be a Guavon or not, but let's believe in ourselves. Let's look at his statement, Dr. Oborevwori, on Nigerian coaches, the statement he made, where he said, it's always easy to blame our indigenous coaches when they fail. However, when they perform miracles, as in the case that we have just seen in the last two matches, not much is said about it. For the first time in a long while, we have assistant coaches that have each proven themselves and are still working, that is gainfully employed, leading teams week in, week out. That would be Ogumodede and Ilechukwu. Such composition helps the chief, that's the Guavon's scenario now, to see things from different perspectives. And I can say that this approach, in my opinion, could not have been better. According to him, you cannot take away the Nigerian spirit when you have a Nigerian coaching the team. A look at Senegal will tell you that there is nothing better than having your countryman coach your team, or is it Morocco, or the most recent example of Cote d'Ivoire, where the impossible was achieved, talking about Imam Farah there, the coach who won the AFCON for them. I believe that we need to give needed support and also charge to our coaches, as well as create the enabling environment for them to survive. Oborevwori affirms, for me, it will have been a disaster for a technical director responsible for charting technical development, for our teams not to be able to hold his own at a time like this. For this, I commend the Rezo and wish him and his team the best as they work to ensure we get a ticket for the FIFA World Cup and for the Africa Cup of Nations there. Jesse Adams, you look at this statement coming from Dr. Oborevwori, you want to agree, well, to some extent, that even though NFF and Sport Minister are really looking for a substantive coach, Oborevwori is also saying, well, stay with Nigerian coaches. If it's possible, continue with this guy. If you cannot, get others, but let it be Nigerian coaches. While citing Senegal, Morocco, Egypt, they have their own coach. Even Cote d'Ivoire, they have their indigenous coaches, and they are doing well. We need the AFCON. Senegal won it before. Cote d'Ivoire also won it as their indigenous coaches. So why don't we believe in ourselves? Let's have you on this quickly. Jesse, are you there? Let's have you on this.
Yes, I can hear you. Please come again.
Okay, well, we're talking about Oborevwori giving honors to Guavon and the technical crew, and calling for the NFF to continue with the indigenous coaches as coach of Super Eagles instead of going outside Nigeria for coaches.
Okay, yes. I think with the current situation where we found ourselves, it's a major boost for the Super Eagles to get the job. Daniel Ogumodede and Fidelis Ilechukwu, two coaches that have been consistent.
Okay, well, it was actually talking about the Dr. Emiro was concerning that consistency.
Has been there with
Remington,
consistent
with
CD Forense.
Now, continue with you, JC. You were talking about the two coaches that joined Eguavon. Go ahead. We are with you.
Okay. Two coaches that understand the Nigerian players, their psychology, their mentality, and of course, technology. These coaches will tend to help anybody that might end up coming to manage, the Super Eagles. I wouldn't say Eguavon to say, just like I said earlier, we need a technocrat that has been exposed to international football and can build the kind of team we like. Looking at the Super Eagles, get a foreign technical advisor, then let Fidelis, I will repeat, just Fidelis and Daniel Ogumodede to be his assistant rather on the study. In Nigeria, we like to politicize a whole lot of things. Before we have about 9, 10, 20 backroom staff, which we used to do years back. But as it is, we don't need the technical crew to be crowded. Let's just have 3 top coaches and probably a trainer, just as the current setup is with Cerezo and Daniel, Cerezo, Daniel, and Fidelis Ilechuku. For me, it's a welcome idea.
Okay, while you are saying you actually welcome that idea with Dr. Emiro that they should continue with the coaching crew. Yesterday, news came out that Vexterhoff, former Super Eagles coach, also canvassing for something Siasia, and it's becoming bigger and bigger. From the way it is right now, where even though someone say, okay, the technical director, Eguavon, should continue, someone say, no, he can just after this, maybe by the time they appoint. But Westerhoff canvassing for Siasia is another angle of the story. With you, even though you're actually standing with the current technical crew, Siasia has actually also paid his own dues. Is Advent coming to coach Super Eagles again? How would you see that?
Yeah, talking about Siasia, I think it's going to be a very wrong push. Wrong push in the sense that he has been out of football for 5 years. During that period, he was not involved with any footballing activities. So the trend has left him. So he needs definitely to go back and up his update his library, as the case is, update himself to the new trends of football. It will be so sudden for somebody to come out of an international ban and then come in to lead the Super Eagles. It's going to paint the image and the brand of the Nigerian national football team somehow. Something I don't think is going to be a welcome idea. And any negative thing will be taken out of proportion from the Super Eagles. So I don't go with it, honestly. That's just my take.
Okay, well, JC Adams, at least you've really done well being with us on the show, where we couldn't have Osondu Martins, the Badagry FA chairman, that actually joined us. Hopefully, we'll see bring him on later. But as it is right now, well, JC, matches for today. Governors Cup, Nasarawa State. We have seen them all. We want to appreciate your time with us on the show, and also wishing you the best. And I can see the background of that's Lafia Stadium there. Thank you so much for joining us, JC Adams.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. And any day, anytime, I'll always be here for you as a big brother, as a mentor, and as a boss. I'm live here at the Lafia City Stadium. Games are about to begin. Thank you very much for having me again.
Okay, good one there. Looking at that particular footage of Nasarawa State, the stadium at the state capital there. Well, JC Adams, the Director of Communication, Nasarawa State Bar Station, journalist, sport journalist, actually joined us, and we've run through all the story we had for you on the show. Well, the National Youth Games actually will be starting today, the opening ceremony in Asaba, where the Minister of Sport Development, John Owaen, will be declaring open. More of that will be coming away in the evening. For Sports Update, we'll be giving you updates concerning activities in the world of sport. I'm Adeni Aji Shafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.